Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday, October 27th. So much to be thankful for this morning. Wasn't able to do a video last night, so if you didn't see one, don't worry. It's because I couldn't do it. But God is so gracious, and Lord willing, we'll get back to doing one tonight. God's faithfulness is expressed to us primarily through relationships. And we misunderstand God if we think his faithfulness is expressed to us primarily through things, money, possessions. His faithfulness is expressed primarily through relationships, first with his, and then the relationships we have with others. And that's one good thing about a birthday is you get reminded of all the cool people in your life, and when you get older, you get a chance to start thinking and reflecting on just the vast numbers of people that I've met in my life and how enriched my life is by those relationships. It's such a, can't even quantify it. It's a blessing of God. Life's not about stuff, it's about relationships. Jesus reminds us of this in Luke 12. There's an encounter here with a man who is upset about his family and him not getting what he thought he deserved from the family inheritance. So he comes to Jesus and he says to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." He's probably on good, appropriate legal standing to demand this. He feels wronged in some way. But what he doesn't understand is that he's wronged himself of the value of life. You see, he's thinking the value of life is in the stuff that he's not getting from his brother. And Jesus looks at him, warns him about greed, and then says these words that need to be hallmark words for us, that need to dominate us, dominate me in our thinking, especially when we get discouraged. Jesus tells the man who's asking to make things right so he's okay with stuff, with money and things. Jesus says to him, a man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. A man's life, a person's life, does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. See, this man is worried about an abundance of stuff, of things, maybe even daily necessity things. And what Jesus is saying is our lives are not bound up in these things. Our lives are bound up in relationship. So the number of things I have, even whether or not they're working or not, is not the value of our life. Our life is in relationships, investing in relationships. And Jesus goes on in Luke 12 to talk about investing, whether it's in the stock market or savings account or holdings or land or whatever. And he says those things, they're all temporary. They're all going to go away. They can't be controlled by us. And when we go to be with God, those things are going to vanish. So he says later on to those who are listening to him, don't invest in things that are going to wear out. Rather, invest in those things which will never wear out. So he's telling this man who's concerned about things not going well the way he wants, and the guy may even have an appropriate, legal, ethical case. Jesus says, look, brother, chill out. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of all the things that he has. A man's life consists in the wonder of relationships with God first, and then with our neighbor, your family. So the tragic thing is this man is coming from a family who knows about God, knows about the law, and all he could be concerned about is what he doesn't have. And what Jesus says, don't try and make it right about the finances first, about getting the right thing, what you think should get from your brother. Think about what you can give that will last into eternity. And that's what yesterday brought home to me. How incredibly blessed I am by the rich and full relationships that God has just poured out on me. My family, but also friends that I've just had the glorious blessing of knowing over all these years. What a huge gift this is. Our lives don't consist in the abundance of things, what we own. Our lives consist in the wonder and awe of knowing Christ, of knowing each other, and living for something other than ourselves. And that's the thought for this day. Thanks so much for being here. And Lord willing, we'll see you tonight. Lord bless you this day. Bye-bye.